Sagittarius to Verve in Motion. I'm your messenger, Demora Lee. And I'm just going to do your quick reading for the second week of October. And this is going to be a relationship reading, but I do start out with your mind, your body, and your spirit because it does affect your relationships. And for those of you who are my subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. I know I've been missing for a couple of weeks, but as you can hear, I sound like a man. Just kidding. But my sinuses have been kind of messed up with the change of the seasons, and I'm living in an area where we get all 4 seasons. So that's lovely, but my sinuses don't necessarily like it. And also my energy has been kind of screwed up lately. So I'm an empath, so it takes me a minute to shake off these readings a little bit. But now we're going to do your reading for the second week of October. And those of you who have not subscribed yet, please like, subscribe, and share. Okay, so let's get you going. So right now, Sagittarius, it looks as though your mind, you've been thinking with this Two of Air. You've been kind of thinking about compromising or making a decision on something, and maybe you don't want to compromise. You're trying to decide whether or not you should compromise, but you know that there's a decision that you need to make, one or the other, and it's always a good position to be in when you have a decision to make. You don't want to be in a box, and this seems to be the theme for fire signs this week, honestly, because it's starting out the same as the Leos as well as the Aries. So you have decisions to make, of course, and you try to decide whether or not you want to compromise. Okay, now physically, it looks as though you might have given up on a diet, or you've given up on an exercise regimen that you started, or you're giving up on an exercise class that you were attending, but you might want to go ahead and get back with that, or start something that may be a little more suited for you. Okay, now spiritually, it looks as though we're sitting with the Three of Earth, or the Three of Pentacles. Spiritually, it looks as though you've worked very hard to hone your relationship with your higher power, which is good, because without that relationship to whatever your higher power is, it affects the relationships that you have with other people. You can't have that relationship, that light in that relationship go dim, because if you could just imagine a big light coming down on you and then you spreading that light out to other individuals, if that's a dim light, how much light do you think you get into the people that you're dealing with in your life? So it's good that you've kind of strengthened your relationship spiritually to your higher power. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into your relationship specifically. Yes. Now, it looks as though in the past, in the past position, we have the Magician. So in the past, you've pretty much tried to manifest a particular relationship. You focused on creating the relationship that you wanted in your life. That's what you did. You focused on that person, and you manifested your relationship. Now, whether that was a good relationship or a bad relationship, I don't know. That you're currently in, I don't know. But you brought that relationship forward. And we can manifest good or bad, but you brought that relationship forward. That's you put it out there in the universe, with whatever words you said or actions you did, and that's what came to fruition for you. Okay. Now, presently, your current relationship is in the World position. Okay, so it has been a life lesson for you. Okay, but it's still positive. It's still positive. So what you brought forward, you might have thought you knew, okay, exactly what you were putting out in the universe, but something else might have came forward, and you realize that you brought that forward. You realize that you manifested this particular relationship this particular way, which is not necessarily, again, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, because you've learned that be mindful of your words and be mindful of your actions and what you're bringing into your life and what you're letting pass your life. You are now very mindful of that. And you're still in a relationship. You're still in it. You know, you've accepted it. And it looks as though for the future of the relationship, we have the 8 of air, or the 8 of swords. And it looks as though there's going to be some sort of, it looks as though you might pull back from this individual. Maybe you realize that wasn't what you wanted. Now that you know what you can bring forward and what you can't bring forward, now that you know, you learn that lesson, you might be pulling away from the person. So you really they're not what you wanted. They're not what you thought you wanted. You know what I mean? It's like when you meet somebody and they look good and they look good when you're looking at someone and you're out and you see someone and they look cool, they look good, they look like they might be a decent person, and then after you talk to them for a couple of times, you know, you realize they're vain, or you realize that all they talk about is, you know, their money, or all they talk about is their cat or something strange like that. You know, and then you're like, ooh, no, that's not what I expected. You know what I mean? But you turned on that aura around you to attract that person to you. You turned that on based on what they look like across the room, or what your mind told you what they may be like. That's what happened to you here. But it looks as though you're going to isolate yourself from that person. You're going to step back from that person. You might just break up completely with them. Doesn't look like they're, you know, a bad individual. It's just not what you wanted. Not what you expected and not what you wanted. Okay. Now, it looks as though what keeps popping up for you is the King of Earth. So what keeps popping up for you is this individual. Okay, this person might be a little jealous. They might be a little jealous. They may be someone who, you know, they promised the world and haven't produced a single leaf. You know, they promised the world. They big talk. This person been talking real big. And I think that might have been how they got you. That might have been how they got you. They played them little games. They showed you something in their hand in front of their body, and so they was holding something else in the hand behind their body. Yeah. This person, they pretended to be someone that they weren't, and they got you on talk alone. Yo, don't you hate that? When you get caught up on just what the person is saying, like they got a real good game. That's what you call when a person has a real good game. And that person had a real good game. And that's what you keep thinking about. How could I let this clown trick me into this relationship like this, into dealing with him? And now what you see as a problem is how you gonna leave him. We got the 2 of Fire here. You got a problem. Should I stay and ride this out, or should I leave this person? Back to the 2 of Air and the 2 of Fire. That's what you see as a problem. Okay? But your advice for this read is the King of Fire, which is to take charge and have courage to either step up and say, listen, you made me believe this. You said this. And I believed you. But this is what I've gotten. This is what you've shown me. Or have courage to say, this is not working for me and I have to leave. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time. We could be friends. That type of thing. Okay? And then I pull a romance card and it says your love life is being affected by children. So I don't know if kids are involved or if your kids are involved, if you have kids or if he has kids, or if he don't want kids and he told you in the beginning he did, or vice versa. But kids are somehow involved in this. But you still have to have the courage to do what it is that you have to do. Okay? And then I'm going to pull your wealth card. Your wealth card is that you are the merchant. Opportunities to prosper are everywhere. You're able to discern and be flexible, be social and be brilliant and be quick. And then for your affirmation, sanctuary, good for you. Some time away. That's what you need. Take your nice hot bubble bath and then give your person a call. Good luck to you. Sagittarius. See you next week.